It's fascinating, actually. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming out. I guess I will just get started here just to give you all the update on what's going on with the WAGMI NFT project, and then afterwards to give anyone and everyone an opportunity to come up and show their own project or whatever they're doing, because this is about expanding Ravencoin and Ravencoin NFTs in particular. So, the WAGMI NFT project is just meant to support all of that from a behind the scenes kind of standpoint. So anyway, just to kind of get started with the G gallery, that's going great. We are only accepting 3 more artists, and then we're going to close it out. And we just launched the community, and that's a music NFT. Community DAO did the hand artwork for it, and then sircrone, as well as to music, and that's just been very, very popular and getting a lot of views and clicks to the website. So the GM gallery has been definitely been really successful because of you guys and all the artists that have contributed so far. And then so that's where that is now. And the second part of the project we have is where we do our Wow Wednesdays, where we watch artists work. And so extending an ongoing offer to all of you that have either haven't had a chance to go on it yet or know somebody who wants to come on. It's just first come, first serve. And you don't even have to be on it once and you can't go on it again. Like we've seemed to be getting openings. So if you're willing to slip in, like what we did last week, we put 2 artists together and that went really well. We did Lampa Center along with Crypto Eye Heads, and that was really, really fun. I actually just posted Lampa Center's sort of a backstory and a little bit about who he is and what he where he's from, and it was just fascinating actually to learn about more about the artist. And I didn't even know these things about him, and I've been in the NFT space. I like to say I've been in the Ravencoin NFT space since the beginning, and yet to learn these fun details about artists is just it's fun for me, so I'm sure that it'll be interesting to somebody else too. So again, please DM me, and if you want to have a post on you in particular, I'm happy to do that as well. So where else are we at? I think Sircrone's in here. He's muted still. But Sircrone,
Yeah,
please
I'm here.
come up
I'm
and
I'm
share.
just listening. You're doing a really
Okay.
good job. Well, good
Yeah,
morning,
but
everybody, or good
yes.
evening, or wherever you are in the world. Hello.
Can you share a little bit about what you've been doing on the website?
Not too much has really changed, just trying to make sure that it's functional and getting things updated as fast as possible, while balancing everything else out. But it's been going good. We were getting signups. The site is pretty efficient. Just been focusing a lot on more of the search engine optimization aspect and getting as many clicks and visitors to the website, knowing about what the site's about. And that's pretty much all I've really been focusing on, and just making sure the videos are updated and uploaded, and so it a little bit becomes a lot real fast. So
I know, I
trying to
know.
keep up.
Well, that's what, like embedding the videos onto the website. Like I just actually just linked Fatal Frames, uh, Wow Wednesday that we did that's embedded on the website, because that's going to live on YouTube, and that's really exciting for Ravencoin. There's not just we don't do these interviews and then they get buried or lost somewhere. They're Circrones did a great job in editing them, putting them to music. It's like actually an enjoyable experience watching these videos, and they're not just meant to be watched and there one time. I mean, who knows in 5 years when people are going to be curious about the early days of Ravencoin and Ravencoin NFTs and the artists that were here, they're going to want to go back and watch and learn something about it. So I really appreciate the extra effort that you've done on that end, because I think it really adds a lot, and it makes it easy for me to show people where to go to see the content that's not just going to be, lost or gone in a link that disappears or something. So yeah, so that's really, really cool that we're doing that. And the Wow Wednesdays, I've just been actually having a really good time, and I'm learning myself, and just getting a little more confidence to myself. And did some actually NFTs for the Heist project, and just wanted to put the WAGMI NFT name sort of more out there. And so I said, just get out of your comfort zone and just put something out there. And it's just because it's just about WAGMI NFT at this point. Like, it's not about kind of what I think people will like or want to buy. And I really, really believe in Ravencoin and our Ravencoin NFTs, and just the user friendly nature of it. And I feel like it's just a matter of time before we get like seen and heard. My goal is to, when you go to a Google search and you type in how to buy an NFT or how to mint an NFT or how to make an NFT, I want Ravencoin to be on the first page. And slowly but surely, we can do that. I mean, sircrone understands all this SEO stuff, and I'm trying to follow his lead anyway, and trying to take his suggestions on, like, sort of what will get the attraction, what will get the attention. And so anyway, little at a time, and I just appreciate all you guys always coming out and just taking a space here, because when people are on Twitter and they look and see what Twitter spaces are going by, and they see a room that's has some people in it, and they might just come in. We might just get new people in, and I am seeing that. Last week we had I saw two names I had never seen before. So, and we have new signups to the website that I've never seen before. And so these are all really, really good things. I'm not concerned about how fast it's going or how slow it's going. I just want to just be consistent. And because Ravencoin being proof of work is just about being consistent. And, like our name, WAGMI NFT, is just, we're all going to make it. The platform is meant to be transparent and fair, just like Ravencoin. And I really love how sircrone has the title of the NFT as the blockchain name. And because that's what attracted me to Ravencoin in the first place, was this the human readable aspect of our blockchain. And so that is just uh, it's just a really great selling feature, and I like that he's incorporating that into the website. And even when you buy, because we have a little area where you can even do just a, I'm calling it peer to peer, but it's not really a peer to peer exchange, where if you have an NFT that you haven't sold yet, you haven't been able to sell, but it's already minted, it's very easy to list it on our website, because you can still hold your NFT up to when you actually transfer it to the new owner. So it's a real true peer-to-peer exchange. And if you put more images or more NFTs in your gallery, if you attach your socials, if you attach your blockchain address, your wallet address, you really can start to create a whole store, a whole, or at least a whole like little viewing area about yourself as an artist. And when I use the word artist, I want to use that word really liberally, because if you're a coder, you're an artist. If you're building a company on Ravencoin, you're an artist. You're a thinker, a builder, a creator. And I saw Xander in here. Thank you, Xander, for coming out. I know you're doing renewal blocks. I am so enthusiastic about that project. I think it is such a great idea, using 100% renewable energy to mine Ravencoin and mine Bitcoin. Right now, they're just mining Bitcoin, but as I understand it, they are looking into GPU mining too. So my mind automatically goes to Ravencoin when I hear GPU mining. But yeah, so that's really, really exciting, and I think that just will has the potential to make Ravencoin more of a name that's known to us all. So that's basically all I have. Sircone, do you want to add anything on, or should we open it up to the floor?
Yeah, no. If anybody wants to talk about something, I think everything we're doing is pretty much just out there already. We got the videos, the site. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd love to learn more about what the community's doing, any way that maybe they can incorporate what they're doing with the website. I'm open to suggestions and seeing how we can expand the reach for the website to help other people. Because that's really what it's about. Like just like I was just thinking it now, like while you were talking, it's like WAGMI is like a vortex, right? We're just pulling all the in there, and then we just spit out the people where they got to go. Like, oh, you want to learn about mining with renewable energy? Boom, go there. You want to learn about how to buy an NFT? Go there. So it's like we're just like a handoff. Like imagine like a basketball game. Like they send us the ball, we give it to the right person. You know, like we don't want to really keep them there. We're more of like go here now, go there now. So that's sort of like the intention of the site, I think, as it's evolving. If I'm understanding it correctly myself, because it's a creation of its own now, like being us, you know.
Beautifully said. Excellent. Here we have JC King wants to come up. Yes, please. Anybody who wants to come up. In fact, I'm going to send you all DMs so that you could come up to speak. JC King, please come up and speak.
Hey,
Hi, JC.
can you guys hear me?
Thank you for coming.
Can you hear me okay?
Of course. Yes,
Oh,
I can
great.
hear
Thank
you.
you. Well, thanks for doing this space calls. I am sorry I haven't been keeping up with the WAGMI project, but I look forward to learning more about it. Um, it was really interesting to hear the discussion about SEO and trying to make Ravencoin show up in the first page. Uh, that's certainly one of the things I've been wanting to see as well. And I'm not sure that there's much to say on my end on what else can be done, but I do have that article or that domain cryptoarticles.com, which if you look at the articles, they're mostly about, I mean, like 95% is Ravencoin stuff. Um, so if there's a way to leverage each other's websites, um, I'll be open to doing something like that. And if anybody else has other ideas to, again, make RVN show up on the first page, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I think with that we'd have to like find ways to sort of like interlock the websites, right? Because it would be very easy to just like copy the articles over onto the one website to the next, but Google don't really like that. So we'd have to find ways to like exchange, not really just link exchange, but more like, hey, if you want to learn about this, like go there, and then the other site says, hey, blah blah blah. So Google sort of analyzes it in a different way. It's sort of like complicated, but it really treats it more simplistic. It tries to analyze it more human like at this point. You know, like I guess the Google AI, is getting a lot smarter. It's probably smarter than us already. But the way it analyzes things is it readable. Any type of like Google quote unquote hacks that used to work in the past, Google now blacklists, right? Like for example, at one point, you could have put every single state, country, zip code, and put just the name of a service, and Google would have indexed your website for all those locations in that one service. But then the Google algorithm learned that that's tricking the system, so they started embedding the algorithms to blacklist websites that were doing this. So now they want you to get really creative with how you exchange information, but we're definitely down for that, Like if you want to have like a section on the website, because we have the Ravencoin 101 page, which we were thinking was going to be sort of like a quote unquote directory of information. So if you go to the website and click on the top Ravencoin 101, it's sort of like just information like segmented, So we would love to put, a link to your site there. So when Google goes to that page, they're like, oh, okay, we see this as a resource, and all it just is keeps building connections. Now, getting first page for something NFT related is gonna be very difficult. Obviously, as people may know, because we're gonna be battling against like Ethereum and Bitcoin, blah blah blah, or whatever other sorry, not Bitcoin, whatever other blockchains that offer NFT asset or tokenization. But it would be good to at least start moving up higher, because the more people start clicking on these sites, the more Google recognizes, okay, maybe this thing is related to NFTs now, and it starts to build that algorithm out.
Yeah, I'll definitely be up for the white hat stuff, not the black hat stuff. And one of the things I've been doing, for example, is like asking artists to share a few things about themselves, and then I just write an article. Or, for example, um, just today I published. Well, I published it earlier, but today I tweeted about it. Um, Something related to authenticating assets, and it really features Kevin Lynch's work. And then it sends them to his website. And I also have a link to the Brick project, and sends people to his website. That's the kind of stuff I've been doing. And I think the more we do that with each other on the various sites, I think that would be better for all of us, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of like the like the web work that Google starts to analyze. Like because it'll go to every website, and let's say every website talks about Ravencoin NFTs in some degree. It starts to create this image in the algorithm of what all these sites are referring to, and it starts to creates those links. So exactly, yeah, that's what we have to do. It's a time consuming process, and it's sort of like a sculptor, but with web page links. Like you're just sculpting the image of Ravencoin NFTs, page by page. But it's a great start, and that's exactly what we have to do. Yeah, the floor is open to anybody. This is a very informal space. It's just a hangout type of like. Give us an update on what life's like in your world right now.
Fatal Frames, you want to come up next?
Okay, sure. Thanks for inviting me. I got your DM. Uh, yeah, everybody's doing awesome stuff right now. I think the community's pumping. There's lots of people doing lots of different projects. Like it's crazy right now. We've seen a lot of growth in the last few weeks, even, and NFT Raven dropping his heist and all sorts of things going on. I'm just shilling my giveaway right now. I'm dropping my New York themed NFTs next week. Just some film that I shot when I did a trip to New York, right in Sircrone's backyard. So there's going to be lots of kind of funky different stuff coming out next week, and got a giveaway right now for holders, and then I have about 6 or 7 NFTs that I just reduced price on. So there's a lower entry point for anybody who's kind of seen my collection and want to get in. And the price point was a bit high. So it's about 200 Raven for 6 or 7 NFTs on there right now. So about $4 US for NFT. So yeah, if anybody's interested in joining that giveaway, you can check out my pinned tweet and just share some of your pictures and kind of discuss on the chat. I'm just trying to make more interactive giveaways where people gotta kind of share some stuff. I know some people just like retweeting and liking and not really doing anything, but I'm trying to engage people and get people talking and interested in different kind of, discussing photography, discussing art, things like that.
I think it's great that you lowered the price on the project to sell it out and get people in, because including as many people and as many holders as you can is the smartest way to sort of increase the noise signal ratio. And I suggest everyone go check out the Wow Wednesday that you did. It's on the website. And I just had such a great time learning about your process. It actually made me even more interested in your art, because I did not know that it was on 35 millimeter film, and just the whole story about how you create the work. And that's what's so fun about having these private viewing gallery sessions. It's an opportunity for the artist just to share a little more about who and what they are, and that's selling the art without even selling it. So thank you for doing that again.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm definitely interested in doing one again. Like, I can, Wednesdays are pretty good for me in those, that time slot that you filled. So if you ever have cancellations or you need somebody again, I'm down for sure.
That's great to know. Yeah, that's great to know, because that New York collection with those upshots with the sky are so spectacular. So make sure you have all your notifications on, people. That's how I do it. So I can, as soon as, because I usually tweet it first before it goes onto the website, so that you can be prepared when it's going to go on Ravenist. Just a little trick I've learned about about getting the one that you want, you know, to be there first, so to speak. So Raven Assets, would you like to speak next? Or JBab? The floor is open.
Yeah, I'll take a shot at this. What's up, guys? First time caller, long time listener. Uh, pretty glad to actually be talking at one of these. I don't have much content to give anybody, but I've been made a lot of noise on Twitter, so I think I owe everybody on this call at least a voice to the JBab name. If anybody's ever curious on why my name is JBab or JBABDB, it's JB always being a douchebag. So just kind of fit my my personality in real life, if anything. One thing I did want to come on here and talk about, and I've been giving him a lot of shit about, is the search function of NFT Raven. I wish he had like a, just a little nicer search platform on the website. Other than that, I got nothing else for you guys. Appreciate the NFTs. I always try to collect everybody's at least one of something. I think I have a JC Keen Mona Crypto Mona that kind of looks like my wife. So a lot of the NFTs I buy kind of remind me of my wife when I buy them. So that's all I got for you guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. It's nice to get to know people, even like you don't have to know them, but like just that little bit of like hearing a voice, sort of like I guess I'm making a word now, humanifies, make someone human,
Exactly.
in your mind. So that's definitely cool. Thank you for introducing yourself. But I'm still gonna think of you as Jebaba Dibba Dibba.
Perfectly fine.
Funny how you were pronouncing his name. Yeah, I'm glad I got to know finally what it means. I was wondering. I knew it had to mean something. It couldn't possibly just be Jebaba.
Oh no, it's Jebaba Dibba.
Hi Dow. Thank you for coming out. I've been having a lot of fun tweeting with your GM Gallery NFT. It's just spectacular. All the GM NFTs I have been, but this is just the latest one to the gallery. So it's been fun. I love music too.
Yeah, so I think it's been a lot of fun. Hey everybody, I enjoy going back and forth with you and seeing how you guys, the creative ways that you're shuffling them and responding to people, and was really thrilled and excited to see how sircrone sort of morphed that initial design, the one that I sent, and am really interested in this new one that we're working on with the African marketing squad that we've been having fun sort of developing and at Community DAO. So I think it'll be a great project, and hopefully, you guys will develop some friendships with, those three we've been talking to, and also just having fun on the general Ravencoin community, roundup sort of front. I just got one of those heists and want to do this game on top of the game, so to speak. So actually, Sonny, you might be a good first person to send it to. Would you do me the honor of receiving, holding, and then shuttling heist number 5?
Oh my gosh, I would be honored. I would love to do that. This is
So I
what
think
I
it'll be
was.
fun. It'll be great.
Yes. Okay, let's
So
do that.
is this the first time that the heist gets handed off?
I don't know. Maybe that game. I mean, I'm sure that NFT RVN, NFT RVN, not RVN NFT, but I'm sure that he imagined, different developments with that series. But that's the first thing that came to me is let's do a hot potato game where. And literally, it is kind of honor among thieves, because at some point, you might think, wow, this thing's probably worth about 5,000 Ravencoin or whatever it is, and be like, I'm going to hold it. And then, at that point, you will be a thief with no honor, and you will have, held onto this NFT. But, the game would be, I think it would be cool to see if you could secure it with people that you trusted that would kind of keep shuttling it forward. It'd also be a
I
good way
think
to.
that is so much fun. Yes.
Yeah. So good way to
Yeah,
develop
I think
circulation.
I think that was actually the intent. I think he wanted it where people just kept bouncing it around,
Yeah.
waiting to see who will let it pop open first to see what they get, the hopes that they get the quote unquote one they wanted, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think the longer you let it sit in a wallet, or the longer you keep bouncing it around wallet to wallet, the more of a chance, you know, you get to see who lets their vault open and see like, oh man, that was what I wanted. Okay, I guess I'll let mine open now. You know, and there could be someone else waiting to see what was in your wallet, and then they're let down. You know, it's like you said, like a thief with no honor. Like they're trying to hold on to it and like, you know, hoard it. And then in the end, it could have been the one they wanted, you know? So I think that's really fun about it.
Yeah, no, I think so. And I love games like this. And I've always found myself in the middle of some sort of like,
I see Fatal Frame putting the hand up real high.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to ask Dow if you got your print yet.
Oh no, I didn't, but I got your message, and so but I haven't been back to my place in a few hours, so it might have come in today. And if it does, I'll definitely, I'll be sure to take a picture or something and post it and circulate it, because I really like we were talking about, the whole idea of kind of connecting Web3 to the real world, and having real manifestation. So I love exercises like that, and things, things like that, where you're actually connecting with people, and sending them things like that. So I appreciate it, and I will definitely follow up with you as soon as I know that I have it.
Yeah, that's why I got the physical copy of one of Fatal Frames, and I as soon as it was just the feeling and seeing it was a whole different experience. It's really interesting, and then now I'm actually in the process of getting it framed now. So it's bringing the digital world into the physical world and connecting with an artist that I would never have met or heard of if it weren't for NFTs. So
Absolutely,
that is exciting.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And so much of the of this realm, you really have to kind of check yourself at a certain time, because so much can be sort of imaginary and virtual. And so moments where you surface or create something that actually like is a t-shirt, or an actual print, or some sort of actual coordination in the real world, is helpful, I think, to remind us that we do live in a physical place.
Yeah, that's it. It's funny you mentioned that. That was actually like the same sort of like conclusion I came to, like shortly after I started my Cronenbergs. I was like, all right, it's cool, you know, to send the art, but I want to really like personalize it and make it real, you know. So I don't know if you know, like every time someone buys as a first time buyer of the Cronenberg gang, any of the Cronenberg gang NFTs, I send them a shirt.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I mean, I saw Sunny posted her shirt, and then maybe there was one other one that I saw, so I could gather that just by sort of paying attention. But I love that, so that's cool. That's awesome. Maybe hopefully at one point I'll be able to hook one of those somehow.
Well, there's only one more NFT coming out. Well, two. I already
Oh,
made
I
the
know,
art.
but
I'm only doing 36 total.
yeah, I think I read something like that. I remember reading it. So
Yeah. So I
that's
just
great.
finished designing 35,
Uh-huh.
and 36. I have an interesting idea. I can't divulge too much about it.
Okay.
Hopefully, it'll be as epic as I think. But there's really only two left.
Well,
One I
that's great.
designed.
That means that'll be a hotly attended event.
I
The
hope so.
bidding. So I mean, I hope I can get in the middle of there somehow.
Yeah, it gets crazy. It gets crazy in there. I'm surprised every time anyone bids on it. Like when I first got in, I thought I was gonna wait a year for someone to like even ask about the NFT. I remember I listed it. I was like, I guess I'll just wait here. And like real quickly, it was like, oh, your thing sold. I'm like, wait, what? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, that's good. No, that's great, and that's good, because what it shows is that the community is responsive, and I think that's the best thing about Ravencoin. It has a vibrant sort of sense of people just develop this passionate allegiance for Ravencoin, and so that the fact that they begin to go out of their way to sort of make these connections and these bids and actually act on them, I think is great.
Yeah.
So I love Ravencoin because of that.
Yeah, that's why I tried to find a way to give back. So for example, I'm not a rich man, but if I could help out, sort of pull everyone up with me, quote unquote, because I'm not saying that I'm high up there, but people keep telling me that I'm like premier dude, but I don't want that. I want other people to share in that fun, in that sort of 15
Well,
minutes.
that's good, and I think you've got a hot item there, and it's good to see that, and I think you handle that quite well, and
Thank
you
you.
seem to be very friendly and willing to give of yourself, and that's important.
Definitely. So yeah, Is there anybody else who wants to talk? I saw we had one person. They left too fast. I was trying to get their attention. The Phantom Girl, but is that Qmine Arts? Hello, Qmine. Hi, Morgan. Xander, Mirage. If you want to talk, we're just hanging out, just BSing, as they say.
Yeah, I'd really like to hear more about Mirage's new zombie line coming out.
I really liked that. I'm a major zombie fan myself, just in general, and then put bright colors on them, and oh my gosh, there's a match made in heaven. So I actually like Mirage's. Whenever something comes out and I see the image, I don't even know it's hers yet, but I already find myself liking it. So I like the stuff that you're bringing out, the trees. I don't know, Mirage, if you feel comfortable or want to come up and speak, but you're more than welcome to also. I sent you a message, an invite. But yeah, I see these, a lot of these NFT types of sales, whether they're auctions or heists, that corporations at some point that are tokenizing on Ravencoin are going to use it as a marketing opportunity. And they'll be, just like they gift a lot of marketing and advertising materials, they'll do it now in the form of art and NFTs. And so you can only imagine, like, kind of how this is going to turn into something that, like Community DAO said, that'll connect us into the real world, connect the digital world into the real world. And you'll be able to walk into a store and get, reclaim your item that was somehow connected to your NFT, like go into your local store. So just a lot of exciting stuff coming around. So, but that is all that I have to share. I would really encourage. Oh, we have NFT Raven. I'm going to invite you to come up and speak. Oopsie, you're up as a speaker. Just unmute and speak, please. JC.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I just wanted
Hi.
to. I'm on my break at work right now, but I just wanted to say one thing. Thanks to everybody who supported the Heights and to Community DAO. I want to say that the transfer doesn't necessarily have to be done person to person. It just has to go to a new address. I did implement a new feature to where if somebody doesn't want to keep transferring it, you can go to nftraven.net and there's a safe house link that you can just deposit it there, and NFT Raven will hold it and it will stay locked until you withdraw it, and then the timer starts again. But we did redesign the site a little bit, so hopefully everybody likes it, likes the colors. Heard nothing but good things so far, and just thanks for everybody. Thanks to the artists for contributing, or this wouldn't even be possible. So thanks to all of you. Only because I'm always thinking of stuff. So let's say someone leaves it in the safe house for too long. Could someone come and heist it? No. Maybe on the next project that we do, that might be a cool little feature to do. But on this one, like if it stays too long, what happens is the first person just gets reimbursed for the Raven, and then the new person, like, quote unquote, heisted it. That's actually a really good idea, though, man. I should really implement that.
No, you really could gamify.
Because, like, what if they put it up there for 600? They store it there. They send like 600 Raven or something like that to store it. But it's up there for 600 Raven. That means somebody could buy it. And if they do, yeah. Because what could happen is, let's say you get 5 people who just put it there and never withdraw it. Yep. You got to find a way to sort of like unlock those too. And if it's a heist, someone can just come and that's mine now. Yeah, I like it. Well, this one's going pretty quick, so hopefully we'll be able to do another project. Yeah. No, dude, it's unlimited. The creativity is it's unlimited, what you want to do. There's like no right or wrong. That's what I love about Ravencoin,
Yeah. I'm actually curious to see, how long you could run, how long some of these vaults might be tossed around. Theoretically, it could perpetuate for quite some time.
Yeah. At least until as long as NFT Raven exists.
And like Sonny said, I think but Ravencoin is it's great because it is so decentralized and it has such a strong sort of sense of community and people that are volunteering and passionate about it. But at the same time, it is the, like what's it, Leon said, that it is the entrepreneur's blockchain. So we are all interested in marketable protocols, and so I think things like that that art series, and it's so ingenious. I really love the innovation of it. Are going to be great for test cases for how, you know, these things could be used in a way that would create lots of money, you know.
That was the whole theory behind the project, was just getting people familiar with how the assets work and what they are and what they do. You know, that's really
Absolutely.
what it is about.
Absolutely, and there's so many different angles. I think, and a lot of us are just sort of in, you know, sort of in limbo because you're, you know, like I was talking to Jake Menard the other day. I actually, you know, just had a call with him because I wanted to pick his brain about the guy that's with Renewal Blocks, and he's really a good. He's a you know, a great Ravencoin enthusiast. And I was asking him about, you know, what sort of, if you read the white paper about of the Ravencoin white paper, it talks about, you know, there's a way that you can vote with tokens, right? So actually, Ravencoin will issue a type of voting token, but neither of us knew of a single case where that had actually been done. So was kind of a question in our minds that we're so early here that, you know, a lot of these things haven't even been tried. The capacity of the Ravencoin protocol is just, you know, a lot of it's untested.
Yeah. When Jake made that video of tokenizing his shares, the renewal block shares on the blockchain, when he did that live, I believe that was the first time that a company has ever tokenized their shares on Ravencoin. And the fact that he did it live and he showed T0 that video, and they couldn't believe how easy it was to tokenize a share. I mean, that's
Right.
how early we are, that regular Ravencoin users are teaching existing corporations how to tokenize on a blockchain. So it's really exciting.
It is. And have you talked to Jake about his project? It's so neat. You know, the renewal blocks thing, and he's telling me they have a property, like a 38-acre property that they're either looking at or they've already bought in Costa Rica that's going to house these solar panels for renewing energy for Bitcoin mining.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
was like, I'll be on that team. I lived in Costa Rica for 2 years. I would love to go back and do some sort of project like that.
yeah, and they're very much
That
into
sounds amazing.
green energy and everything. Yeah. Well, right now I know that they're. I see Xander in here. Maybe he can't speak on it, but he speaks very articulately on the mechanism of how they're using. Um, I believe they're called ADP tanks, anaerobic digestion tanks,
Yeah,
to turn the methane into energy, which then powers the Bitcoin miner. And then the heat from the miner then it dries the manure and the other products that are. So it's a whole circular system. So tell
yeah,
me, what is an argument against Bitcoin mining when you have that kind of energy formation? I
exactly.
just don't, you can't, there's no argument against. I mean, in California, I live in California, we have so many dairy farms and just cattle farming in general. And it's just so intuitive. You can't, what's the argument against it? I actually would be curious to hear somebody go against that argument.
Yeah, I actually think too. I mean, I think all of us are sort of in that sort of crypto land of speculation about, you know, what the agenda against Bitcoin is by, like, you know, the sort of mainstream or traditional investment, you know, group that feels, I guess, probably somewhat like they are under siege by the whole crypto movement and decentralization in general. But, you know, and I think probably a fair amount of that sector wants Bitcoin to fail and is looking for arguments against it. And that, you know, that one about electricity is the biggest one that seems to frequently come up. So, you know, short circuiting that argument, I think, is worth paying attention to. Could be a really great defense of Bitcoin and Ravencoin.
Hi, Ben. I see you're a speaker. Would you like to come up and say a few words?
What's up, guys? It's been cool to listen to everybody. It's cool to hear about all the projects. I have been a NFT buyer a lot last year, but I really haven't bought a lot of NFTs this year. So maybe getting back into the space will inspire me to pick up some of these projects because it's a lot of innovation. I think that's the coolest thing that you guys talk about is it's really just limited by our imagination. So I think what you guys are doing to try to build up the other artists is really cool. I think that's what it's mainly what my YouTube channel was about for a while, was just interviewing artists and trying to show off what people can do. So I'm gonna try to get back into that again and do some of those. I was supposed to do one with SOS, but he's off Twitter again, so I'll have to try to find a way to contact him. But
Hype man,
what's up?
Would you be okay with us putting your videos on our video section?
Of course, yeah. You guys can definitely use any of my content for sure.
Awesome, yeah. Like that could be like how we can give to you as well. Just feature your videos, and then you get those views too when people go to the video section. If you don't mind.
Yeah, that would be great. I would appreciate that. And
awesome.
I mean, that's what I did a lot. It's like there was so many things, and maybe I'll go on. I don't know if NFTRBN has a video of anybody like buying anything from his website yet or not. But if he doesn't, then I'll record myself making a transaction on his website, just so that I haven't used it yet. So I want to go on there and use it myself, so I can be a user and give my experience. So it's a lot of cool things happening. It's also really cool to see a lot more artists coming in, like Fatal Frames and Mirage. And I mean, they've been here for a while, but it seems like they're actually getting some good traction. And I know the White Hash art, his monkeys, that's been really cool too. So I think the community's picking up some steam. So we'll just see where it goes.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like a lot of people, when they see like quote unquote price going down or like activity slowing down, they kind of follow suit. I feel like the more everyone around us is slowing down, the more we got to speed up, because we want to show them that none of that matters. All that matters is to continually build, consistently be there, because there's going to be the opportunity when people are looking for that new asset, that new coin to sort of go to fulfill their needs. And if, let's say, they come to Ravencoin, they see that, it's like a ghost town. They're like, but if they see that we're still hustling and bustling, and we don't really care about, quote unquote, making that money. Because in the end of the day, we all want to be successful in our own ways. And I've said this before, like whatever the goals are, for me, the goal is just keeping it going. So for me, if Ravencoin's $1 or 2 cents or half a penny, I'm still going to put the same amount of effort as I always been. It's just right now, there's a different angle that I'm going, which is like the NFTs and the visual tokenization of it. But in the past, it was more of like my mining, which that took a back burner right now. But I don't care. I feel like I'm building in a more productive way. Just sitting there with the computer running is one thing, but now, interfacing with people, I feel is the core of what's going to make Ravencoin really succeed.
Thank you for that, Sircrone. I really do appreciate you coming out here and doing these spaces with me. I agree with you 100% that especially the Twitter spaces, because all of the NFTs is just all the noise happens on Twitter. So when those Twitter spaces are streaming across that top banner, then people are going to see them. And even if they don't come in the space, they know something's happening on Ravencoin. And they hear about it once, they hear about it twice, they see it. And eventually it's just, you can't ignore it. So I appreciate you being here with me.
Anytime. Well, we got about 15 minutes if we want to make it an hour. It's open floor. Anybody could talk. Raise your hand, I guess, if we haven't made you a speaker yet. It's just to hang out, wake up with WAGMI, just hang out, talk, discuss ideas, throw ideas around. Just a chill place. So welcome all.
Hey guys, I was just sharing messages with somebody here. To my knowledge, Ravencoin doesn't have the ability to handle royalties at layer one, and I was just wondering what it would take to do something like that. If you read the white paper, it does talk about royalty sharing, and I've always thought of Ravencoin not handling royalties in layer one was a disadvantage. Certainly, artists want royalties, and the way that's being handled right now is through the marketplaces, but not peer to peer. So, what do you guys think of that?
Personally, I'm unfamiliar with any of the mechanics of royalties on blockchain, but I'm sure someone maybe understands or knows about if anything like that is already implemented. What I'm guessing you're asking is if on the blockchain, let's say I send someone a token, will the blockchain automatically kick back, like 0.01 Ravencoin or something? Am I understanding that correctly?
Currently, it doesn't. It'd be nice if it did.
I think the problem with that is I'm sure someone knows is better the legalities of what's considered a security. I think if the blockchain did that, I think it will be considered a security.
Not the blockchain itself, but the token could be a legal security, assuming that it went through the correct processes. But I don't think royalties alone represent a security, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm just guessing at the moment, so I apologize. Don't take anything as I say as financial, legal, or development advice.
I would say one thing about securities is if it's going to be a security, I don't think that's something to necessarily be scared of. Just like Jake's token, it's a security, right? Like buying into that, you're buying a security token. So you have that knowledge. It's filed through the SEC or whatever government regulates it in that country. So it may be a security, but that will be okay if it's done properly. If it's not done properly, then that's different. And if you're a U.S. investor, you probably can't invest legally. So things like that.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it in terms of like fearing securities. I just know that there's things that have to get tacked on. Like for example, like if I was selling a token on my website, I would probably have to like speak to some kind of crypto advisor or something that tells me, all right, you got to sign this paper, dot this line, and cross this T to be able to do something like that. That's all I'm saying. Like I want people to educate themselves before they start doing something and they find themselves in like some kind of hot water, which can happen very quickly with financial stuff.
Yeah, I know Jake. When I talked with him, he just said that one of the uses or one of the ways that they are going to be compliant is simply by using the IPFS capacities to include certain sections of SEC compliance with each of their token sales. So it gives documents attached to those, with terms attached to those tokens.
Yeah, always. I guess was it CYOA? Cover your own ass. Always cover your ass when you're doing something. Because the law doesn't care about ignorance to the law. The law just say, well, it was the law and you broke it. That's it. We don't want anyone to get in trouble.
Hey, Xander, you want to speak next? I saw you just come up.
Yeah, I just want to speak towards the whole security token part. The biggest thing about security tokens is not just the SEC regulation, but the other thing that falls in is investors have to be either unaccredited or accredited, but they must comply with the KYC AML rules. So you would have to be KYC'd regardless for a security token. Um, and that's very important when you start talking about royalties and if you're guaranteeing rewards, if you're promising rewards, things like that, then we start going into the realm of securities.
Yeah, well, that was what there was even the issue of WAGMI NFT. We wanted to be very careful that we weren't giving rewards, and so when we have the airdrops being sent to the wallets, those are just sent from other artists or other issuers, and so anybody can send anything to anybody else, and so it's just worked out really nicely. Like Mirage just did an airdrop of the NFT I just posted last night, and so we don't say whether or not that's going to have future value or not. It's just an airdrop from another artist that she's doing to promote her work and her project. And the side beneficiary is the members of WAGMI NFT. So it's so that we just have to be careful about that. We don't give rewards, but like Amazon, when you buy something on Amazon, you get 3% back on every purchase. That is a reward, right? but that's not a security. I don't have to file or anything like that every month when I get my 3% back. So it's just, but that's what's nice about the security token structure, at least from what I understand, is that Bruce Fenton structured it to comply exactly with the existing U.S. securities laws that were established in 1933, which are actually very, very simple. So that's why the tokenomics of Ravencoin are so simple, because it's a simple law, but unfortunately it got so complicated that now supposedly it costs $5 million, I was reading, or something like that, to get a corporation set up to be a security, to be a formal security that's registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So, and now with doing it this way, essentially, it's just your own time and labor and buying that main asset name and tokenizing it, and then submitting it to the SEC is just a formal paperwork. So once we get how that structure and how that's done, like Renewablox is really going through the gate, like they're the, whatever that expression is, going through the fence first. So we'll see how smoothly it goes. And if it does go smoothly, it's really setting an example for what's possible with tokenization. Go ahead, JC.
Yeah, I would agree that just handling royalties alone is not a security. I mean, think about it. Marketplaces are already handling royalties, like Ravenist, and then artists already establishing that they want royalties on their work. But I guess so. The question is, it is my opinion that right now RBN does not allow for peer-to-peer royalty payments. It's really an honor on the honor system. So any of you guys creating art, you may that you want 3% royalties, but it's really up to the people buying and selling down the road to honor that. It's not, there is no smart contract and there's nothing in the protocol that handles that. And so the thought was, should we be talking about the possibility of doing something like that on layer one, or providing some feature within the code that can handle royalties? And is that something that you guys would be interested in?
Yeah, that would be interesting. That when you issue a token, you can say, for every wallet that holds X amount of this token gets X amount of Ravencoin. Now, in terms of Ravenists, to their defense, they don't issue the royalties. The royalties happen when someone buys an asset on their website. For example, if I list my Cronenberg, someone wants to buy it, the royalty is actually coming from the buyer, not through Ravenist. So in that particular case, the word royalty can be misinterpreted. Then it's like a semantics issue. But in terms of royalties, like on a marketplace right now, it's just the buyer is just paying the extra royalty to the artist as like a thank you, which is separate from the marketplace. What you're, I guess,
No,
thinking
that's
about
what I mean.
is, huh?
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Through the blockchain, again, that would have to be something that I guess it would need to be forked to have something like that. But again, at the very moment, I don't think there is something that automatically triggers a royalty payment. Because then you're going to run into issues as well, right? Like, let's say the wallet that's supposed to pay the royalties, let's say it runs out of funds. What happens then,
So I don't know the details, but it would be like the mining fee almost. Like, okay, the art piece is 100 Raven, the royalty is 5, and the fee is 1. So the wallet can only make the transaction if it has 106 Raven.
Copy, yeah, I understand. Yeah, no, it would be interesting. It would be great to have all that on chain, like a contract within the NFT. But again, like then we're starting to quote unquote muddy the waters from just being assets to being a contract sort of blockchain.
Yeah, I guess the question is there any appetite from the artists here to do that? Or do we continue to rely on peer-to-peer honor system or centralized marketplaces?
I guess we only have a couple minutes left, but I just wanted to throw this out there. I had spent some time talking with Ricky, who of course was more technical and was able to share sort of more of the pros and cons around that. And because this is when Kevin Lynch was we were doing that Kobe NFT that he wanted to have it be a high volume sale, and so of course the issues of royalties. And Ricky was like, what they were already seeing already on Ethereum is that once that NFT becomes a really high value item, someone is going to do whatever they can to not pay a commission or a royalty. So really what you want to set up is you want to set up a system that supports and enables and encourages people to use, whether it's a decentralized platform or any kind of platform that that basically supports the royalty, whatever that is. Because if all they're going to do is exchange keys, if the Bored Ape is now worth $1 million, they're just going to hand over the private key. There's not going to be any quote unquote transaction because they don't want to pay $100,000 in royalties. I know that's a terrible thing to say, but that's exactly what happened. So I think we need to really think, all this through, because this is the problems that they're having on Ethereum already with items being taken off exchanges, because right now they need to be on exchanges. In order for the royalties to go through on OpenSea, they need to be on that exchange. So because the ERC management isn't consistent, so they're even learning their way. When I see they, I mean Ethereum. But yeah, there's definitely a lot that we need to uncover and learn about, at least for me. But now that it's 12 o'clock, if anyone wants to give any final thoughts, sircrone, you want to give a final closeout for us?
Well, I could only speak for myself regarding because the last question he asked, would artists want that on-chain thing? It would be great, but I think it would also kind of force people to constantly be linked to the artist. So, in the real world, it doesn't work that way, right? Like if I sell a trading card, there's no way that I could make sure that the person reselling that trading card says, "Hey, I sold it for $5. You want you 50 cents?" So I think of it like that. I think of it, even though it's a digital asset, I treat it like a physical asset, right? There's no way to really force something unless you're overseeing it yourself. Now, what I feel like it's sort of like the whole royalties thing. It sort of boils down to just basic business practices at that point, right? Like I'm gonna complete my whole collection on Ravenous because I like the service. I like that I get royalties from it. I could have easily just said, "Hey, I want to sell it. Who wants to buy it?" But I like having that personalization with the marketplace or the source of sale. So then you create that what's the word I'm looking for? Like return business, right? So you create the environment that the artist wants to come back to your platform. Now, can that be done on chain? And would artists want that? Yeah, maybe. That's why I said I only speak for myself. I just don't want to feel like what Sonny said, people trying to find loopholes out of paying the royalty, So if I only list it on one marketplace, if I want to get my royalty, that ensures I'll get my royalty. But on chain, it can easily be subverted,
Cryptolissa, you have your hand up. Come on.
Hi guys. I was just literally on a space about this on Solana, I don't know, 3 or 4 days ago. And on Solana, the issue is that they're creating what they call OTC trades on NFTs. And so what's happening is on Solana, obviously it is a smart contract, totally different blockchain, has nothing to do with Ravencoin. But the issue is that these people who have royalties built into the smart contract, it necessarily doesn't work for them. And there's obviously always going to be a loophole around it. And so it was a big mega space about one of the marketplaces over on Solana putting in a different type of smart contract. So when you put on their platform, you're using their smart contract that they created for the royalty aspect of it, because they're trying to stop people from um, they're trying to stop people from not making the royalty payment to the artist. So that's the way Solana is doing it. But again, that's one of the major things that you're going to run into is somebody is always going to find a loophole around paying royalties if it's on a smart contract based system. Like I said, obviously this is Solana and not Ravencoin. But it was like a 4-hour space I was in, people complaining that they were looping the system by doing a different type of trade. So they were trading all these NFTs and not having to pay the royalties back to the artist.
Hey, sorry guys, I know you want to end the call, but I just wanted to mention real quick, Crypto Lisa, you brought up the OTCs, and that really is kind of Solana and other projects trying to do things peer-to-peer outside of the marketplaces. You know, the neat thing is that that's what Ravencoin already solves. So it'd be great if we could just tell people, hey, you guys, you can do OTC all day long if you were using Raven. Meanwhile, they're trying to do it outside of their ecosystems they created, and it's getting complicated. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, because I know that what attracted artists to the NFT space in the first place is that they did have an ability to quote unquote take control of their own IP. But in fact, as we're learning, if there's a will, there's a way. So yeah, I guess we can only control ourselves here at Ravencoin. But if we could build platforms that enable and support and so that, like what sircrone said, is that I trust going to Ravenous to buy my Cronenbergs because I know that I'm going to get a real Cronenberg there, and I know that I'm not going to get scammed. I know that that you're only listing the real Cronenbergs, et cetera, et cetera. So it's definitely the trust of the platform is going to become like more and more important. But there's a lot to uncover and solve in the space for sure. So with that, should we close out the space now?
Yeah, I was just about to say, yeah, thank you everyone for coming. This was a very productive space, I believe. You know, we covered a lot of topics. We learned a lot about, new people in the community. And it's great to just get an update from people, So thank you all for coming. And let's keep building. that's sort of this week's motto. Let's keep building.
Keep building. Okay, I'll have a nice day.
Bye-bye.